Hey guys, it's me, Mrs. Arneson, and I'm here to talk to you about classroom policies and procedures when we're online. So in real life, I have a million policies and procedures because it just makes class run a lot faster. And I haven't really figured out how to do online policies and procedures yet until I'm taught 2 terms of this class. So I've really taught 6 classes so far online, and now I kind of know what I want to do. So I'm going to go over those things with you. This really pertains to science classes that I have because I also teach art and it doesn't really apply to those classes. Okay, just a couple of notes about Chromebooks. I thought the Chromebook was supposed to work with Google because Chromebooks are a Google product or a Google operating system or something like that. Mr. Arneson told me, and he's a nerd, and I'm a nerd, but I'm not a computer nerd, so I don't quite understand what he's talking about. But apparently they're supposed to like communicate, and all of their products are supposed to work together really well. But I was working with a student one-on-one and I noticed that there's some really weird things going on some of the Chromebooks. I was even on the phone with a student and I was like, you need to click on this box because then it's going to open and you can edit it. And I told the student like 45 times to click on it. And he was like, I am clicking on it. And I was like, I don't believe you because it should be working. So then I had him put his dad on the phone and I had his dad click on it and it still wasn't working. So then I was like, wow, it just really isn't working. So then when I was one-on-one with the student at school, I was like, oh my gosh, it really isn't working. So I was like, if this is happening for all the students, they must be like super duper frustrated. So here's a couple of things you need to know. If you want to double click on something, so like you know how normally you would right click and then click on open the hyperlink and then you go to the link? Well, it's different on the Chromebook. You have to use 2 fingers. Boop, so you like put your cursor where you want and you click with 2 fingers. Like that, and then it opens it. So it works on my computer too, but there is no right button. There is no double click on the Chromebook, so you have to do the 2 finger thing. Okay, next, click in the upper right hand spot of where you actually want to click. So like if you actually want to click on this link that says click, you might have to be clicking like over here on this click to get it to open. So I was messing with that with a student and we just figured out that every time that the student needed to fill in a blank or click on a link, we actually had to click to the upper right hand spot where we actually had the link. Very annoying. If it's not working for you, call me and we'll see if we can figure it out. And if it's still not working for you, you really need to be able to do this to do online school. So we will figure something out with your laptop. Like we'll bring it back to the school and switch it out for you, or I'll have the tech guys look at it because you really need to be able to do that. If you can't use your technology, then why have it? That's super annoying. I wish I could write Google a letter and be like, you owe Las Montañas money because this was ridiculous. All right, so writing is the best exercise for your brain. And if we were in class, I would have all kinds of like little group activities and questions and stuff that what I would be getting you to exercise your brain with. And unfortunately, online, that is not really an option. So instead, what we're going to do a lot of is writing. I actually try to do a lot of writing in class too. If you've ever been in my class, I make people write a lot. And that's just because studies show it is the best exercise for your brain. And so I've got some new rules for writing in class. So even if you've been in a term before with me this year, you need to pay attention to these rules because they will apply to you starting now. You need to write incomplete sentences. So I mean on warm-ups, on activities, on everything, you need to write incomplete sentences with the only exception being fill in the blank question. So if I have you filling in the blank on something, you do not have to worry about actually writing a sentence in that blank. But otherwise, I would like you to write incomplete sentences. That means you need to be capitalizing the first letter, you need to put a period at the end, and you need to make sure that your sentence has a subject and a predicate, or a noun and a verb, I think. I'm not an English teacher, but I think that's what I learned when I was way back in school in English class. Okay, if you do not do that, like you're writing in one word or you're just giving me phrases, I'm going to return it to you and I'm not going to regrade it until you fix it because I can't understand what you're talking about when you just give me these little short answers. And so in real life, you could talk to me about it and I could check and see, but I can't do that online, so I need you to write it out. If you want to call me and I will walk you through an assignment, that's totally cool. I'm giving my contact information later in the video. Okay, word count. So I'm going to start adding these things called word counts to some of the questions. You always need to write in a complete sentence, but sometimes I'm going to put like, you need to write in, I don't know, 35 or more words because I want you to explain what you're talking about. If you write a lot of words, like let's say you write 65 words, you write double that, I will give you bonus points for your assignment for doing extra work. But If you write less than that, then I will give you a lower grade. So just telling you that's going to be a thing from now on. Okay, spell check and grammar check. There's a tool for this, and I'm going to show the tool to you right now. But if your errors are distracting and I can't tell what you're trying to say, like I just don't even know what words you are attempting to write, which in some cases I have seen this year, I'm going to give it back to you and be like, you need to fix this because I don't understand what you're talking about. There is a talk to text tool in Google. I believe you can tell Google what to write. Like you can say it out loud and it'll type it up for you. So if you want to experiment with that tool, you're welcome to. But you should probably still edit your answers because I can imagine it saying some inappropriate things that it misheard you. I mean, I'm just thinking of like all the history of what's that thing called when it changes your text? Oh man, autocorrect. There we go. Okay, so this is an assignment. Oh, I already fixed it. Dang it. Ugh! I'm going to pause this and I'm going to redo it. Okay, I'm back where I left off, and here's the errors I made purposefully in this sentence. So if I look at this document, I already have in my tools, I have, watch, if you go to spelling and grammar, I already have the spelling and grammar turned on. So this little arrow, since I have it clicked right here, it will show me my spelling suggestions and it will show my grammar suggestions. But I noticed that some students don't have that on. I don't know if the Chromebooks automatically come with that setting off, or if it's Google Classroom thing, but you can click these and basically turn them on or off so that they always are checking it. And I strongly recommend that you make sure that it's on. If it's not on, or if you have to return it on every time and you keep forgetting, you can still do this by going to spelling and grammar check, and it'll walk you through your document and show you what you've done that you could fix. So like right here, this is a proper noun, Arneson. It caught that because Mrs. is before it. So it's saying, do you want to change this to Arneson with a comma after it? I do need a comma and I don't have one, so I'm going to say accept. Yay, okay. All right, Mrs. Arneson, why did you even makes us do these? So makes is not the proper, ask an English teacher, but it's not right. It's like not, it doesn't agree. The verb and the predicate or something don't agree. They don't even use the word predicate, I don't think anymore, but that's what they taught me when I was in school. So we do not want that to be makes. We need it to be make. And then this is spelled wrong, so we can spell it correctly. Now our document looks good and you can turn it in to me, and I will be very glad because then I will be understanding what you wrote because you checked it. All right, let's go back to this really quick. Okay, a lot of times, so I am setting documents already in Arial Cornflower Blue font size 12. So I'm writing in Cambria Black size 12. That's the font I'm using throughout my documents, but I change it on purpose where I want you to write into Arial Cornflower Blue, and I do that for two reasons. It tells you that you're supposed to type something, so it's like an indicator, like, hey, there's a part right here you need to pay attention to because you got to do something. And then the other part is that it's easier for me when I'm grading it because I can see it. And so I really want to be able to see your answer easily because that makes it easier for grading. And I have to do a lot of grading because, like, you guys, I'm going to be having 9 classes going on at the same term. And that means I'm teaching 9 different classes. So I need you to do this because I'm going to be losing my mind a little bit. Okay, grading. Okay, so the way that Google Classroom works is that if I give you a 0 on an assignment, it removes the template from the assignment. I think this is a stupid feature, and I usually like Google, but that's a stupid feature. So there's a way to get around it, and I'll show you in a second. But I need to put in zeros every weekend. Why? Because sometimes, like you might have, if you've only done 2 assignments and you got 100% on both of them, and you did those at the very beginning of class, but you haven't done any work for 3 weeks, it's going to look like you have 100% in the class when you actually have like maybe like a 7% in the class because you haven't done anything for 3 weeks. So I have to put in those zeros, and I'm sorry, but here's what you need to do when that happens. Let's go back over here. I'm going to go to my class actually and show you a cool tool. So if you're checking your grade, this took me actually a long time to figure out as a student. I was like, how do I find my grade on here? What you need to do is click on this little clipboard that looks like it has a hill with a sun rising over it, or like somebody's shoulders with a little head right here. And you click on it, and then it opens up your grade, and it tells you what you have in each of your assignments, which that's not a good class to pick because I haven't made any fake assignments on there. So I need to see if I have fake assignments on here. Oh, dang, I clicked on the wrong button. It's because it doesn't make any sense to me that that's the button you have to push. Okay, so look, it says I have a 70.2. That means I am barely passing, but it also tells me what I have turned in, what grades I got. So like this one I got a 7.5 out of 10. That would be at 75%. This one I got a 0. So let me go to this one and show you what it does. Go to view details, because if you just click on the document, oh, see, it didn't do it on this one. I don't know, it does it on some of them and it doesn't do it on other ones. But you might have to push this, will say, if this document is not here, so like the little one that is your copy of the work, it's like a template with my words in it and then you edit that document. If it's not there, you need to click on resubmit or make a copy. Both of those will work, and they are good tools to help you be able to work on the assignment. So if it says that the template is gone because it's been removed by the teacher, it's not because I intentionally moved it. It's because it just does that automatically on Google, and I am sorry that it does that. But that's where we live, is in this world. Okay, each part of the assignment is worth 10 points, and then those are averaged together. So what I say, or what I mean by each part of the assignment, if we go back to this lesson, is that, I'll open this one really quick for us. Okay, so this is the warm-up. This is, let's start with how the earth formed. This was a Edpuzzle. So let's say I go in and I find out that you got a 6.8 on that. So I'll put a 6.8 right there. But on this part, you did a really good job. So you get 10%, 10 out of 10 on that one. What I would do is add all of these up and then average them. So you really need to do every single part of the assignment, and you need to do your best on it. Even if you struggle on one part, like this is a 68%, this 10 will bring up your average and you'll still get over a 70% on that assignment. Okay, back to present again. So at Las Montañas, 70% is passing. At first, that might seem annoying because D's are passing at other schools, but the reason we expect you to get a 70% is because we will let you redo the assignments. We don't give you a late penalty because our focus is not on punishing you for turning things in or not. Our point is we want you to learn the stuff. And so as soon as you learn it, you get to move on to the next term, and we consider that you've learned it well enough when you get a 70% or higher, so when you get the average score or higher. So I just wanted you guys to know that because that's important information. You will not be able to move on to the next term of science until you get a 70% or higher in your class. I always encourage getting an A or a B because that's what will look best on your GPA. If you talk to any seniors, they'll be like, yes, you want to try to get A's and B's because those really matter when you're trying to get a scholarship. All right, contacting me. Here's all the ways you can contact me. I only have a few notes about this. Please put my number in your phone. You can even text me and say, this is so-and-so, and then I'll know that it's your number. And then you can text me basically anytime. I can meet one-on-one with students that have an IEP. If you don't have an IEP and we can't meet one-on-one, like in person at the school, then we can meet by a Zoom appointment. Please don't freak out until you've given me 24 hours to respond to you. I had a student the other day send me like, I am not kidding, like 13 emails within 23 minutes. And I opened because I had just been doing something else, and I was like, what the heck? Like, it just made me really mad seeing all of that. So if you want to make me mad when I'm grading your assignments, send me 13 emails. Okay, revising. Revising means that you rewrite or adjust or explain something for more clarity or accuracy. And a lot of times in life, we don't like to revise. We just like to get stuff done and turn it in. You don't realize it, but you normally revise in class before you turn in an assignment because you like have me check it and look at it, or like you ask a friend, like, what did you get on this answer? And if they got something different than you, then you try to figure out who's right. You normally do that. But in online class, it's really hard to do that. So instead of checking everything before you turn it in, now you have to turn it in. I will give you feedback and then you have to fix it. And I'm sorry that that's the way it works, but it is. You should redo any assignment that you do not get a 70% or higher on because 70% is passing. So if you're turning in your assignments and you're getting a 65% on all of them, you still won't pass. You're going to have to go back and you're going to have to revise those. So do it as we go. I will make comments on the document so that you know what to revise. Okay, guys, I hope this information is helpful. I put some little quotes here about revising because I think it's really important. In the United States, we're like, well, if you're wrong, that's bad. That's really terrible. But in life, you'll realize that it's okay to be wrong all the time. Like a lot of the time, it's okay to be wrong. You just have to make sure that you're learning and that you're improving and that you're focused on doing better instead of just like making the same mistakes over and over again. That gets to be like really bad when you do that. But mistakes are fine. And I love when you make mistakes because it shows me that you're trying at least. If you put nothing in, if you don't turn anything in, I don't know. I don't know anything. It doesn't seem like you tried. Have a beautiful day, you guys. Talk to you later.